imagine you are going for an interview and the very first question is about after tell me about yourself. Very first question is what is the difference between MySQL and SQL? You freeze. Don't worry. In this video today, I'll have to cover you all the top most important question of MySQL and the database, which will frequently asked in previous interviews. So, hey guys, welcome back to this channel. Today we will cover top 12 important SQL and database question in this video and I will help you to crack your interview like a pro. Stay till the end because I have some bonus tips that can make your SQL answers stand out. Apart from this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe my video and watch till the end to know all the important and frequently asked question of MySQL. So, the very first question is what is asset properties in database? You can see here. Asset properties refers to four main keywords which is atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. What it means? Here the definition as well with the example, but I will help you to explain it in very simple way. Let's see the asset property one by one. First is the atomicity. Atomicity means the transaction will be happen as whole or nothing. This is happened. Like if I am sending you 500 rupees, so whole the 500 will be debited from my account and 500 in credited in your account. It is not like that 250 will be credited in your account once and then again 250 will be credited. It is not a rule. So the maintaining atomicity is important. Second, consistency. Consistency refers like the database remains correct before and after the transaction. You didn't get, let me clear. If I have a e-commerce website and I have put the price of one value is 100 rupees in the database, so it will show you 100 rupees. But if it is showing 50 rupees due to some error, so it cannot be happen. So for that you have to maintain your consistency, your database consistency. Isolation. Isolation means transaction don't interfere with each other. If two people book the train seat at same time, so either A will get the ticket confirmation or either B will get the ticket confirmation. It cannot be happen that both will get confirmation of one seat. So this is isolation, which means transaction don't interfere with each other. And last is the durability. Once a transaction is saved, it stays safe even if the system crashes. If I send you 500 rupees once and it saves into the database, so even the system crashes, it remains same. So this is the asset property. Let's go to the next question. So the second question is what is SQL and how it is different from MySQL. So let's see. SQL is a programming language used to manage and interact with databases. It helps in performing operations like storing, retrieving, updating and deleting data from the database. On other hand, MySQL is a database management system that uses SQL to store and manage data efficiently. The key difference is that SQL is just a language, whereas MySQL is a software that implements SQL commands. This is the main difference between SQL and MySQL. So let's move forward to the third question. Next question is what are the types of SQL commands? So let me clear you very first that there are main five type of SQL commands. That is DDL, data definition language, DQL, data query language, DML, data manipulation language, DCL, data control language, and TCL, transaction control language. The first is the DDL, which is used to define and modify the database structure. Command like create, alter, drop, and truncate help in creating, modifying, and deleting tables and schemas. Next is DML, data manipulation language, which deals with modifying the actual data stored in database. Command like insert, update, and delete allow user to add new record, modify existing one, or remove data. For instance, insert into command is used to add a new row into a table. So this is DML. Third is DQL, data query language. is used for retrieving data from the database, which select being the primary command. In this, select will be the primary command and data query language basically used to retrieve data from the database. Fourth is the DCL, data control language, is responsible for managing user access and permission. By the name data control language, we can get to know that this language is used for managing user access and permission. Command like grant, revoke are used to assign and or restrict the database privileges. So this is the DCL. Finally, TCL, transaction control language, which ensures that the reliability of transaction within a database. Command like commit, rollback, and save point help to maintain data integrity by saving or undoing transaction when unnecessary. So this was the all five main types of SQL commands. So let's move to the next question. The next question is difference between primary key and unique key. Both are the keys in SQL ensure uniqueness in a table, but they have the key difference in how they handle the data. A primary key is used to uniquely identify each record in the table. It cannot have null value and must always contain unique values. Each table can have one primary key. On the other hand, a unique key also ensures that the values in the column remain unique, but it allows it allows one null value and the table can have multiple unique keys, whether a table only have a single primary key. You can see in the example here a table of students consisting 5 columns, roll number, name, class, phone number and registration number. Roll number is the primary key whereas phone number and registration number is the unique key, which also uniquely identifies the student, but it have multiple unique keys, whether the primary key column is the single, which is the roll number. So this is main difference between primary key and unique key. So let's go to the next question. Next question is what is foreign key? So basically foreign key is used to establish relationship between two tables. What is written here? Foreign key is a column or set of columns in one table that establishes a relationship with the primary key of another table. Before we are reading like this definition, let's jump to the example which I put downside. So there is a two table. First is the student, second is the department. In the student table, to ID is the primary key, which is the foreign key of another table, and by that key we can relate both the tables. If we want a department name of student ID 105, we can see that CS department is the department of 105 student whose name is John. So by that we can get to know relationship between two tables using foreign key. So there is a key features of foreign key like data integrity, preventing invalid data entry by restricting deletion or modification of reference records, allows establishing one to many or many to many relationship between tables. So let's go to the next question. So the next question is what is the difference between where and having clause? In SQL, both where and having are used to filter data, but they have used in different contexts and have key differences. The where clause is used to filter records before grouping is performed, whereas the having clause is used to filter record after grouping performed. What is grouping? When we group two or more columns to get insights of that, this is grouping and which is done by group by clause. Like we can see that having is applied to the result set of aggregate data and is typically used in the conjunction with the group by clause. The having clause allows you to filter group based on the aggregate functions like count, sum, average, etc. You can see the example here. I write that using where, using having. One is before grouping, one is after grouping. In first, we are taking the data of orders which have the amount greater than 500. In second, what we are doing, we are writing a query, select customer ID, sum of order amount is total amount from orders grouped by customer ID having total amount greater than 1000. What we want that we want the ID of customer who have like ordered amount greater than 1000. So we are grouping two conditions. That's why we are using having. And on above that, we don't need to group something. So this is having and where. So let's go to the next question. Seventh question is write an SQL query to find the second highest salary of an employee. This is the most common question asked in many interviews if you are going, like if the interview topic is MySQL. So let's see, I have write two queries here. First is using subquery, work in most SQL database, and second is using limit with order by, which work in MySQL. The first approach involves using a subquery where you find the maximum salary that is less than the highest salary. This can be done by selecting the maximum salary from the employee table, excluding the highest salary. The query will look like select max salary as second highest salary from employees where salary is greater than same query in the subquery. So this is using subquery. Second, we can use the approach uses limit and order by to directly order the salaries in descending order and select the second record. So this is the two ways to find out. There can be more ways, but this is two appropriate way to find out second highest salary. And this question will ask will many interviews, so be prepared for it, and it is a simple but tricky question. So interviewer can ask for both the approach, so you have to knowledge of both. The next question is that how do you find duplicate records in a table? For that we have two approaches, but you can have many different according to your choice. But there is two approaches which is frequently used. First, if you want to find duplicate rows where all columns have identical value, you can use group by clause along with the having clause. The idea is to group all records by the column and check if the count of those groups is greater than 1. You can see the query, select column 1, column 2, count star if count from table name, group by column 1 and column 2, having count star greater than 1. If the count is greater than 1, then you will find the duplicate. Second, in the second, if you only want to check for duplicate based on the specific column, you can specify those column in the group by clause. This approach helps when you are interested in finding records that have repeated value in a particular column. Example, duplicate email addresses or phone number or product code. So I have write the query for imagine that there will be duplicate emails. So this is the two types or the two approaches by you can find the duplicates in your table. So next we'll go to the next question. Now the ninth question is what is join in MySQL? A join used to combine rows of two or more tables based on the specific or related column between them. In the SQL, join is a technique used to combine rows from two or more tables based on the related column between them. It allows you to retrieve and display data from multiple tables in a single query result. This is particularly useful when your data is spread across different tables and you want to bring the data together to analyze or report on it. So this can be join. Here there are multiple types of join: inner join, self join, outer join, cross join. So before jumping to the types of join, let's see why join is used. I have already told that data for if we want data from multiple tables, we basically use join. Join is the way to efficiently data retrieval rather than duplicating data in one table. We can simplify our complex query of writing again and again for the two different tables. We can write a single query to merge their data and find the result as we want. So this is join. Next, jump to the another question of this series. Next question is that what is the difference between inner join and outer join? So inner join is used when you want matching rows between two tables, and the outer join is used when you want to include all records from one or both table, either if there is no match. You can see in the diagram, inner join have two tables like that, and the data between them will be displayed like the matches record. In the outer join, there is three further classification: left join, right join, and full join. So four more for more information on the particular topic, I will start a SQL playlist soon. So stay tuned and let's continue this series. So the next question is, what is indexing in MySQL? Indexing is the data in the database is a technique used to improve the speed of data retrieval operation on a table by creating an additional data structure that allows quickly lookup. It is just like a book index where the chapter name written along with the page number, which helps to find out the chapter quickly. The indexing is working same as the book index. In the database, there is two things. First is the search key and second is the data reference, which helps to find our data into the huge database so quickly. So indexing is too important. Now let's jump to the next question. We have our very last question is normalization in database. Normalization is the process of organizing data in the database to reduce redundancy and dependency by dividing large table into smaller related tables. This ensures the database structure is efficient and minimize data anomaly and improve data integrity, which means if we have a large table consisting many data, we can break this large table into small tables so that data retrieval or the other operation will be so easy. By dividing the large table into the small table, we can reduce the redundancy, we can minimize the anomaly and lots of things. So there is benefit of normalization will be it will reduce the data redundancy, enhance data integrity, make the database more flexible and easier to maintain. So guys, that is all about today. If you really like the content, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel and increase the subscribers so that the motivation inside me remains the same. I have to give you a good news that from the next Sunday, I am going to start my SQL playlist. If you want to start your my SQL journey from the scratch, I will help you. I will I'll going to cover all the theory questions with lead code explanation of SQL question. So stay tuned, subscribe the channel so that you can get latest notification. And that's all for today. Bye bye guys.